Hey, YouTubers. This is Steven. Uh, I applied to be a Lyft driver and I applied to be an Uber driver. It's been almost 2 weeks since I applied to both organizations, and I just wanted to share exactly, to the best of my ability, what I experienced. Um, I was quickly contacted by a Lyft representative, and they informed me that I didn't give them the proper documentation. So I uh, I went and applied for a Minnesota driver's license, which I had not needed to do up to this time. I'm in Minneapolis, and I applied for my Minnesota driver's license because they needed a person to have a Minnesota driver's license. So I did not want to do that. I didn't want to apply for a Minnesota driver's license because it kind of bothered me that I had to take a test, and I've been driving basically accident free for, I don't know, about 30. Well, I'm 40, almost 45, and I've been driving since I was 15 and a half. I drove commercially for 7 years and never had an accident that was my fault um, in like 750,000 miles. So I guess it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way that I needed to take a test in order to get a state driver's license, whereas in every other state that I've ever been to, all you had to do was turn in your old license, and they would give you your new license. So I went and took the test because I realized that these organizations, Uber and Lyft, require you to have a Minnesota driver's license. I believe Uber said you could also have a Wisconsin driver's license, which I think is kind of weird, but simply because they're next door. I mean, it's okay to have a Wisconsin driver's license. So I went and I took the test. I got 94%, like 37 questions or something like that, and paid the money, $26. I got my papers that show that I'll get my actual plastic driver's license from Minnesota in like a month to 10 weeks, somewhere in there. They said their records were showing they were processing applicants' driver's license a month behind. So okay, so they gave me my old driver's license back and a piece of paper that had my new Minnesota driver's license number on it. So I gave that to Lyft because they required me to have a Minnesota driver's license, and they quickly they actually had me meet this person that's supposed to give me my evaluation, or like, check me out or explain to me what the ropes of Lyft. And they had me start up their smartphone application while I was in the parking lot at a Caribou Coffee meeting my mentor, or the, another Lyft driver, basically, for the first time. And when I started up the smartphone application, it just said failed DMV check, and the representative from Lyft said that's as far as we go, and that's all they had to say. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna go take the documents to Uber that they asked for and see how they treat me. And I went, and it was very much more mature and respectable the way the interaction went. I think they treated me with respect, and actually much more respect than the way I was treated at Lyft. And now it's been almost 2 weeks. As a resident of the state of Minnesota, they allow you to get copies of your background checks, and Uber does a lot of background checks. I know I've seen reports, like at least 4 of them. They did the registered sex offender report check, which I'm not a registered sex offender because I've never offended anyone sexually. So basically I just found out a whole bunch of information about myself that I thought I knew, which is all, so far it's like exactly what I thought. I don't have any records. Never have. So now there's like one more check that we're waiting on, and it has to do with federal check. So I've had like all these state checks done, criminal checks, driving checks, sex offender checks, all these different county checks. It's pretty extensive, and yeah. So I think, if you're going to hire a service, Uber has definitely got the hand up in terms of professionalism and thoroughness, and actually they respond to people who are applying to work with them. They respond promptly, and they actually send out a survey that asks applicants how they're being treated by the staff that is helping applicants get approved. So I thought that was impressive. So I want to make this short video. It's been a couple of weeks since I actually learned about Uber. I got a email. I subscribe to a technology investing news source, and they happen to have articles on these up-and-coming alternatives to taxis, basically. And I've done a lot of research in terms of watching videos from other people sharing their experience with Uber. And, I think it really, if you want a high-quality service that's respectable, I think it really is up to the public to, put out as much, excuse me, I drank an energy drink, put out as much candid, frank, honest information as possible, so you know what's going on. And I've read a lot of articles, like news articles, on how like oppressive government actions are trying to hinder this more competitive, more respectable, high quality, high value service as an alternative to the traditional taxis that are normally just the cheapest, low value vehicles that can be brought to the table. Which I guess if that's your business model, that's fine. But I think it's nice to have an alternative in the marketplace, like in terms of buying cars. It's not a communist country. We don't all drive black cars with no options. If that's the beauty of this country, is that you have the freedom to put out a selection of quality, and people have options. We don't all have to eat cold oatmeal for breakfast. We can have a nice, decent breakfast if we want to work for it and earn it. So I think people that are able to pay for more respectable services should be allowed to obtain those services if they can afford them. Well, so that's my rant, where I'm at so far with Uber. I've heard good things about it. On a private level, or on a candid, like non-related level. Like I just changed my cell phone service because of the pathetic service I was getting from a certain service provider, and the individual that was working at the cell phone shop was very polite to me and very knowledgeable, and I think he was right on. I had a good feeling about the person when I met him the first time, and I went back there because they just gave me a good gut feeling, and so far it's been spot on. I'm glad I met them. And then he happened to know about an acquaintance who had become partnered with Uber, and his third party feedback on it was that it was a good deal. He did recommend that you use the iPhone working with Uber and not an Android based phone, which that kind of bums me out because I'm not an iPhone fan, never have been. I don't know if I ever will be, but I really am pleased with Android, and so I was looking forward to using my new Android phone because I really like it. I like the fact that it's waterproof and has a lot of very nice technical capabilities that the iPhone does not. So yeah, time will tell, and I plan on making another video when things with Uber develop just a little bit more. I do find it a little bit annoying that they keep telling me to get my car inspected, and I don't have a car to use with Uber. I'm going to try to go through their in-house financing, which they lead people to believe is fairly easy to use. So we'll see. I was actually in a much better position a couple of weeks ago to do a better job serving Uber than I am now. So all this time waiting around to get started with Uber has created a financial inconvenience for me, and obviously that's not Uber's fault. But if you're trying to do something with somebody and they take forever, which seems like forever to get the ball rolling, it's like people can only stick around for so long, and then it's like when you run out of resources, you got to get on with your life, So yeah, there's something to be said for how long it's taken to get all these background checks done. It's a little bit on the ridiculous side. I don't think they really have anything to do with it. It has to do with the inefficiency of the government, how long their processes take. So they're at the mercy of government sluggishness. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.